Hello and welcome to my presentation, The Impact of COVID-19 on Work, the Transactional Nature of Work from Home. My name is Yoko Fukumura, and I'm a PhD student at the Chin Division of Occupational Science and Occupational Therapy. As we all know, COVID-19 and the stay-at-home mandates led to major shifts in the workplace. During the early months of the pandemic, 35% of employees suddenly transitioned to work from home. While work from home was perceived positively for some, the sudden transition led to difficulties for many. Developing patterns of daily occupations within new contexts can require time and energy. In this study, we aim to understand lived experiences of workers transitioning to work from home during COVID-19 through an occupational science perspective. To do this, we conducted an anonymous online survey on Qualtrics from the dates of April 27, 2020 to June 11, 2020. The survey contained 30 Likert-type questions and categorical response questions for demographic data, information related to lifestyle, environment, work performance, as well as physical and mental well-being. However, in this presentation, I'll be reporting on findings from two free response questions that were asked within the survey. The first question was, what positive benefits have you experienced due to working at home? And the second was to please share any additional information regarding your experience with working at home. To analyze the text responses, qualitative content analysis with an inductive approach was used to elicit meaning and draw realistic conclusions from the text. Two coders, including myself and an occupational therapy student, analyzed text responses where we independently read all responses to first explore the content. We then engaged in iterative discussion to create group codes, and then we modified codes through discussion and comparison to original data until the entirety of the data was represented. We received 988 completed surveys, of which nearly 2/3, 648, provided responses related to the benefits of work from home, and 1/3, 366, provided additional thoughts. Of the 2/3, we found that there are more females than males, and the median income was ranging between 50 and 100,000 a year. Moving on to our findings, most of the responses we received were framed by two primary themes of time use and the considerations of working in the home space. A third theme that is more commonly discussed in work from home literature, the intersections of work life and home life, also emerged across the comments. To start with the time use theme, many individuals noted that increased flexibility within daily schedules was a benefit of working from home. Individuals reported having more control over their daily routines, which led to personalization of work schedules. A significant benefit of this flexibility was completing work when it was most convenient for them and organizing work time around their personal needs and desires, such as working when they are feeling most productive. In addition to flexible scheduling, approximately 1/3 of all respondents mentioned that not commuting was a positive experience. People found that additional time during the morning and evening meant that they could dedicate more time for work or non-work activities. The increased flexibility in scheduling meant that individuals could take breaks throughout the day between work tasks to complete household activities such as laundry, which then freed up time after work. Individuals primarily reported using this extra time for social and leisure activities, such as getting to know their neighbors, gardening, or resting. This flexibility in allocating daily activities also positively impacted productivity and well-being, as reported by one individual, quote, "I am able to have a much better handle on work-life balance." On the other hand, the flexible schedule of work from home was a challenge for many. Some found that their time was being micromanaged to a much further extent while working from home. In the bottom quote, you can see an individual who expressed that the continual communication and lack of temporal boundary of work communication was stress-inducing. Others also found that the lack of a predetermined schedule was more challenging. Another prevalent theme was the spatial considerations of work from home. With stay-at-home mandates preventing work in traditional office spaces, the context in which work took place drastically changed. Some preferred their home spaces over their traditional office workspace. They found their homes to be more conducive to work because of the increased comfort and privacy, as well as the decreased distractions. This preference was particularly prevalent among individuals who disliked their previous work environment for reasons including poor lighting, small room size, lack of windows, too much office noise, and distracting coworkers. As seen in the bottom quote, people found that the work from home environment was particularly helpful for certain tasks that require lots of concentration. Work from home also provided an opportunity for individuals to tailor their environment to their needs and take advantage of other spaces in their homes during the day, such as their kitchen or their backyards. On the other hand, there was an emerging concern regarding the lack of resources for the home to function effectively as an office. Problems included the lack of crucial technologies, the desire for ergonomic workstations, and the need for privacy from other household members. This latter concern frequently arose relative to the inadequate space to support multiple individuals working simultaneously, as described in the top quote in this slide, where the individual had to improvise workspaces in odd areas of an apartment. And please feel free to pause the video at any point to read these quotes. Across the themes of time use and space was an overarching construct of the intersections of home and work. Work-home intersections were described both positively and negatively. Many noted that the proximity to partners, family, and pets were a positive impact on their mental well-being and work performance. Especially for those who previously had to travel for work, work from home led to more time with family, as exemplified by this one individual who stated, "I get to live with my family, which I love a lot more than living alone. I felt very alone and like I was just a cog in the machine. Now I feel like a person again." On the other hand, the lack of temporal and spatial separation or boundaries between work and home was a concern. The physical proximity to family, which for some was positive, ended up leading to more distractions for many. The most frequently mentioned example of boundary issues in this context was the interruption of work to address other family members' needs, such as children who were also attending school from home. Finally, the lack of temporal and spatial boundaries led to difficulty separating roles for many. Some missed their commute, as it was their way of turning off after work. Many noted that they did not have designated workstations in their homes, which further complicated their ability to physically separate work from home. Finally, work life coming into home life was challenging for individuals who started to associate their home with work activities, as exemplified by the left-hand quote. Finally, a novel fourth theme was also identified, which was framing the current work from home experiences during a pandemic with prior work from home experiences, as well as the impact on future work arrangements. And just to clarify, I'm referring to work from home during a pandemic as current, even though things have shifted since, just to separate the before times and the impact on future of work from home. Starting with the before times, many who had prior experience of working from home noted the difference in working from home during a global pandemic and the before times. People who normally were thriving in work from home environments felt that the inability to see friends and do things outside of the house led to more difficulties and feelings of burnout. Additionally, the current situation of being forced to work from home led to more difficulties than when it was just a few days a week and optional. As described in this quote, some felt that there is a difference in productivity that was more associated with the pandemic because they were able to be more productive working from home prior to COVID-19. Moving on to work from home during a pandemic, there was the obvious additional difficulty of dealing with the stresses and fears associated with living through a global pandemic. People called for increased consideration by their employers of these stresses when, quote, encouraging productivity. Unfortunately, many felt that employers and coworkers did not routinely acknowledge the pandemic's direct impacts on an employee's ability to perform and participate at pre-pandemic levels. Additionally, the context of having stay-at-home mandates led to this assumption that workers were always at home and available to work. Meetings were often scheduled off hours with this assumption that people had nothing else to do. This led to many feeling like they were on call all the time, including on weekends. And finally, despite the many challenges, there are many comments about hopes for change and future work arrangements. A significant number of respondents expressed a desire to work from home in the future. Many noted that the massive shifts to work from home provided this proof of concept that work from home is a viable option and that employees can be productive from home. In addition, the work from home experience provided an opportunity for many to examine and truly understand their individual preferences when it comes to their work environments. Many stated that they would like to continue to work from home either part-time or full-time in the future. There are also mentions of specific changes that needed to take place to promote success with work from home in the future. Given the challenges with space, time, equipment, and more, there was a strong call for more resources to support a home environment that is more conducive to work, as well as policies and practices that allow for developing healthy boundaries between work and home. In addition, several individuals noted that increased education and understanding are required for management and coworkers relative to potential additional challenges created by work from home. Due to the sudden stay-at-home mandate, there's limited time for managers and workers to prepare for this transition and foresee the unique challenges. But given the lessons learned during this pandemic, many expressed a hope that employers would identify strategies and training to support collaborative work from home efforts in the future more successfully. Through this exploration of worker experiences, we were able to understand how work from home consists of complex transactions of work and home roles across a shared time and space. The sudden transition to work from home led to disruptions of formerly drawn boundaries between work and home for many. Successfully transitioning to work from home is a complex, multidimensional process where individuals' unique needs have to be considered and supported. With many predicting that there will be lasting changes to work arrangements and increased options for people to work from home in the future, an occupational science perspective on supporting healthy transactions between work and home will help support the future of work. Thank you. And these are my references, as well as my contact information.